Good morning. Let's talk about Parris Island weekend and all of the things that you need to make it a successful weekend. Let's start with base access. You need to have a real ID. If you don't have a real ID, please go get one. Start the process of getting one. And then also, your children, 17 and younger, do not need to have an ID. I do suggest, however, if you have kids that are driving age and they're going to be doing driving, obviously they should be bringing their ID with them. All right, so if you don't have a real ID, please go to the link in my bio, click on and go all the way down to the Parris Island tab, and you'll see base access. If you click on that, it will bring you to the Marine Corps website, and it will tell you exactly what documents that you will need to get on base. The other thing I want to talk to you about is transportation. When you are driving there, you're going to need your insurance card, so make sure you have that. If you're driving a rental, make sure you have the insurance card and the rental agreement. Make sure you have for your own vehicle a valid registration. If you are Ubering or Lyfting, they do not take you on base. They cannot get on base if they don't have base access. So if you're looking for a service to drive you onto base and drop you off anywhere you're going to go, PJ's transportation service has a valid dibs. He can go on to base anytime and pick you up where you're going to be. He is a government contractor, meaning that he's gone through all the screening in the background and he is allowed base access. And so he also speaks Spanish for anybody. You need to book him in advance, but he's great. And people that have used him have high regards for him. So he's definitely the person that you need instead of just plain Uber and Lyft. All right, let's talk about the Parris Island Family Day app. This is something that you want to download because it's got so much information. Let's start with grad gifts. When you open that up, you're going to find all of the grad gifts that you can order, including the banner. That's a hot topic. Everybody's always asking me about that. They want the banner with their kids' dress blues on it. So that's where you're going to find it on page 2 of the when you open it up. So the other things I want to talk about is the events. Okay, let's talk about that because that's the exciting part too. When you click on the events tab, you're going to open it up to this menu, and it's got all the times and the days and where everything is, and it lays it all out for you. It's very, very informative. Let's just kind of focus on a few things. If you click over onto the event tab, you're going to see Marine Corps 101 brief, family orientation brief, moto run, command reception, family day dinner, morning colors, and graduation. If you click on those, and they open up into more information for you. I do want to focus a little bit on the Marine Corps 101 brief. It starts at 10 a.m. and it goes to 12 p.m. It's a great brief to go to with so much information, history, how, all kinds of things that your sons and daughters have done while they're on the base and while they're in boot camp. It's a great thing, and it's at the Douglas Center, and I really encourage you to see it. The other one is the family orientation. That's going to also be at the Douglas Center, and it starts at 1:30 to 2:30, and it gives you so much information about, resources for your new Marine and for your family, social media, accepting what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, all kinds of information. And don't be afraid to take pictures or even record what they're saying so you don't lose or forget something, because they do give you a lot of information at once. And then also on Wednesday, the other thing that's really cool is the island tour. It's also at the Douglas Center, and I think it starts at 10, but I'm not 100% sure because it could have changed since my son was there. They do it twice a day, back to back, and it's a first come first serve. So you're going to want to check with the Douglas Center to see what times they start. You go on that tour, you're going to see things that your sons and daughters in boot camp haven't seen yet, and it's really cool. You're going to see so many really interesting places and get a lot of information about the island. The other thing that I want to say is the museum. The museum is a really nice place. I really enjoyed the museum. It gives you so much. If you like museums and histories, this is the place for you. It gives you a lot of history, a lot of different things that you're going to see. There's a movie there also. It's a great place. So I totally encourage you to go check all of those out. So that's Wednesday. Thursday is going to be your family day. I encourage you on Thursday and Friday to get to the island between 5:15 in the morning and 5:30 in the morning. Now, I know people are going to say, my God, that's so early, Lori. It is early. But here's the thing. The line gets very long. Friday, it's even worse. The line is even worse to get in. You want to make sure that you get there, you get a place to park, and that you're not scurrying around trying to get to these events. And then you don't want to miss them because they don't wait for everybody to get there. They just start at the times that they start. So you want to get there early so you get a good place to park, a good place to sit or stand, and you want to get in line early. All right, so let's talk about it. You want to get there for the moto run. The moto run starts at 7 a.m. And it's the coolest thing because their last run is, before boot camp is over. And it's just very inspiring. You see them smiling and having a good time. You can yell their names. You can have your banners up. You can, use the fat heads. You can, all of that stuff, right? Now, here's what I'm going to say. You are going to want to videotape them going because I promise you they are going by fast and it can get blurry if you try to take pictures. So videotape it and then screenshot it later. I promise you'll be happy that you did that. All right, so after the moto run, they're going to go back to the barracks. They're going to change their clothes. Then they're going to meet you either on the parade deck or at the all-weather building. There'll be signs telling you where you're going to meet. Then you're going to see their little ceremony. They're going to get dismissed and you can have them for a few hours between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. for Liberty. They cannot leave the island. They cannot change out of their uniform. They have to stay there and they have to stay in their uniform. Okay. You can feed them. You can hug them. You can love on them. You can spoil them. You can take them to the car or watch them sleep in the car if you want. It's all up to you. But they cannot leave the island and they know the places that they can't go to. So let's talk about food. You can bring your own cooler with food in it. You can buy food on the island. You can bring tents, you can bring chairs, you can bring all of that kind of stuff. The only thing you can't bring is obviously contraband like weapons and things like that. Be very careful what you feed your sons and daughters. There are grills there that you can use and there's places to, picnic tables and things like that. But be very careful what you feed them. They haven't had a lot of junk food, or they haven't had any junk food, any sugar or anything like that for 13 weeks. And so I promise you, if you feed them all kinds of junk food and things that are going to jack their stomachs up, they're going to have stomach problems later. And that's not the time or the place that you want them to be not feeling good their last night there. So after family day, they are going to go back to the barracks and do their thing. And then you can go to the command dinner. You do have to have a paid ticket. I have that linked in my bio. Scroll all the way down to command dinners. Make sure you pick the right one because I have one for San Diego and one for Parris Island. Let's talk about the command dinner. I know everybody wants to bring everybody with them to do that. And it's a great opportunity to meet the DIs. But they only sell a certain amount of tickets. So be very courteous to other families because if you buy 20 tickets, that's 20 parents that might not be able to go because they only sell a certain amount of tickets. The other thing I want to say is that your new Marine cannot go to that in Parris Island. They do not allow that. So that's something, extra. You do have to pay for those tickets. And if you decide to go, please be courteous of other families and allowing them to go. When my son went, my daughters did not go. It was just me and his dad that went. And so the rest of our family went back to the Airbnb and did their own thing. Let's talk about Friday, which is graduation day. You do not want to be late for graduation day. So again, get there early. Graduation starts at 9 a.m. Let's talk about being courteous at graduation day. Please do not stand up and block people's views. And, here's another thing I was told that's happening lately. If you have a big party of people that come with you, that's great. And I am so happy that your new Marine has that much support and encouragement. But please be conscious if you have a party of 20 or 25, put some of them off to the side and allow parents and families of the other Marines to have spots in the bleachers. There is not a lot of room up there. So just be conscious of that. Once they are dismissed after graduation, they're free to go. You can go get their stuff at the barracks and then they are free to go. Marines do not travel in their uniform, so make sure you bring your Marine a new outfit to put on, clean clothes and things like that. If you guys have any questions about graduation weekend, please put them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. I'll talk to you soon.